Reach one arm up and slide your hand down behind your back. If it catches or won't reach on one side, don't blame your age. That stiff shoulder, the stabbing morning heel, and the achy hands aren't three problems. They're one hormone shift wearing three disguises. As a nurse who's lived this, I'll show you what's driving joint pain, frozen shoulder, and plantar fasciitis in menopause. Three fixes that you can start this week, and the one hidden driver no one connects to your hormones. One quick thing before we get into it. If you appreciate me making this type of content, please let me know by gently tapping that like button. And here's the piece your doctor may have never explained. Estrogen isn't only a reproductive hormone, it's also a structured one that helps build and maintain the tissues holding your body together. Your tendons, ligaments, and the thick band along the bottom of your foot and the cartilage in your joints are all covered in estrogen receptors. The docking sites estrogen works through. Its main job in those tissues is to help you make collagen, the protein that gives them strength and spring. And it also helps keep inflammation calm. So, as estrogen starts to fall in perimenopause and menopause, collagen production slows while inflammation climbs. Your connective tissue loses support right as your body turns up the heat, a pattern that researchers now call musculoskeletal syndrome of menopause. If you already live with an autoimmune condition like I do, your body was inflamed long before menopause. So this lands even harder. None of it means that your body is broken. It just means it's burdened. So let's talk about what helps. Starting with the one that feels kind of backward. When a tendon or your heel hurts, resting it seems obvious, but connective tissue rebuilds based on demand. So when you give a tendon gentle, repeated load, it reads that as a signal to lay down new collagen. And when you fully rest it, that signal goes quiet and the tissue actually weakens. So instead of pushing through sharp pain, give the tissue a reason to repair with slow heel raises for your foot, easy reaching for a stiff shoulder, and short walks. I've had plantar fasciitis myself more than once, and resting it never helped me. But gentle, steady movement and stretches is what finally settled it. There's one detail that most people miss. Your body can only build collagen when it has vitamin C, the cofactor that enzymes cannot work without. So, having a little collagen or plain gelatin with some vitamin C about a half an hour before that gentle movement may hand your body the raw material right when it's ready to rebuild. And for those of us with autoimmune disease, hard cardio can definitely backfire when you're already inflamed. So, gentle strength training serves your joints much better. If you'd like these daily anti inflammatory basics laid out in a simple plan that you can actually follow, that's what my free autoimmune relief and energy workbook is for. And the link is down in the description below. The second thing is a mineral almost no one mentions for joints, and that's boron. Boron is a trace mineral, so you only need just a tiny amount, but it appears to help your body use the estrogen that you're still making and the vitamin D and calcium your bones and joints depend on. Some early research also suggests it may lower certain markers of inflammation, which matters more when an autoimmune condition keeps these markers up. You don't need a supplement to start, since some of the richest sources are prunes, raisins, and avocado. And a few prunes a day is an easy beginning. If you do want a supplement, keep the dose small because with boron, more is not better. And also check with your provider first. Now, here's that third thing, the hidden driver that I promised you, the one that almost no one connects to aching joints, even though it runs on a hormone of its own. It's your blood sugar and the insulin behind it. When your blood sugar spikes over and over again, the extra sugar attaches to your collagen and forms advanced glycation end products, which cross link it and leave the tissue stiff and brittle instead of flexible. That's the last thing your joints need when estrogen is already thinning your collagen supply. And here's the part that surprised me the most as a nurse: frozen shoulder, where the shoulder capsule slowly thickens and locks up, is far more common in people with insulin resistance. And research ties it strongly to prediabetes and diabetes. So, a shoulder that won't move may be pointing at your blood sugar, not just your joint. The fix is simpler, though, than you'd think. Pairing protein and fiber with your meals and walking for 10 minutes after you eat keeps those spikes down and takes real pressure off your joint. The last piece is to actively calm the inflammation breaking your tissue down, starting with the food you already know, like colorful vegetables, olive oil, and fatty fish like salmon. But there's one option most people have never heard of for joint pain, and that's boswellia. It's also called frankincense. It's a plant resin that blocks a specific enzyme your body uses to make inflammatory signals. So it calms joint inflammation through a different route than food. And studies have found it can meaningfully ease joint pain and stiffness, especially in the knees. This matters even more for those of us with autoimmune disease, since our inflammation runs hotter to begin with. Boswellia isn't right for everyone, and it can interact with some medications. So, this one is one to talk through with your provider before you start anything. Now, before we pull this all together, let me name the mistake that I see most often and one that I've made myself. It's chasing a single fix and expecting it to solve everything, whether that's one cortisone shot, one shoe insert, or one more supplement from an ad. When it doesn't work, it's easy to decide that nothing will and just live with the pain. But this was never a single cause problem. It's your hormones, collagen, inflammation, and blood sugar working together. So the real answer is supporting your body from a few of these angles at one time. When you step back, those three problems really are one story. Estrogen steps back, your collagen weakens while inflammation rises. And if autoimmune disease or unsteady blood sugar sits underneath of that, it all lands harder. That's why your heel, your shoulder, and your hands can flare in the same season of life. When you load your tissue the right way, steady your blood sugar, and calm the inflammation, you're working on the cause, the root cause, instead of chasing the pain from joint to joint. And that first step out of bed can start to feel like your own foot again. Tell me in the comments below, which of these three showed up for you first: your feet, your shoulder, or your hands? If this gave you a new way to understand your body, go ahead and subscribe and share it with someone who's been told her joint pain is just age. By now, you can see almost all of this traces back to one hormone stepping back: your estrogen. Joint pain is only one of the ways that that drop shows up. And there are other signs of low estrogen that get blamed on everything except your hormones. I did break those all down in a video right here, so watch that next. And the full picture of what your body's been telling you will finally come together. Remember, your body isn't broken, it's burdened. And when you understand those burdens, you can finally begin supporting your body in the way it's needed all along. Remember, we're all in this together. I'll see you in the next one.